Hello, ladies. Welcome to our How to Air Down Your Tires class for today. Um, so, I am going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks for airing your tires down. So excited. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be doing something a little. I don't know if you can still hear me when I take that off of the screen. We are going to go ahead and jump in and get started. I'm trying something different for today. So I'm actually going to try to play a video on our live. I know sometimes streaming live doesn't do great with that, but I felt like it was so important for you to see so we could go through this together. So what I'm going to do is when we finish up our class today, I will go ahead and I'm going to upload all of this as well. So as you are jumping on here with me today, if you would like the download for this class and the full replay of the video we're going over today, go ahead and just drop me a I want it in the comments. Then that way I will make sure to send you a link for the download as well as to the replay video so you don't miss anything. Let me know as you are jumping on what state you are watching from. Yay, I see I want it. Please, as soon as we jump off today, I will make sure to share with you the download and then a replay for the whole video so you can jump in and watch all of it. Yay, that way you miss nothing. All right, so we're going to try this today. If you have any questions come up as we are going through this, please just let me know in the comments and I will answer all comments for you as well. We got Illinois in the house, Tennessee in the house. I love it. I apologize I'm not on screen today, ladies. Again, for whatever reason, it doesn't want to show me today. So we're doing something a little different. I want it. Yay, Arizona. I love it. Phoenix, Arizona. Kelly, we're going to be coming to Arizona soon. We are working on our 5-year plan and events and calendar. So excited. It's going to be for all you amazing ladies. Ooh, hot in Texas. I bet it is hot here too. All right. So we're going to jump in and we are going to get started so that we can go ahead and jump into airing down. If you have any questions that come up as we are going through this, let me know. And then, of course, if you want the download and you want to be able to jump in and watch this full video again, just let me know and I will make sure you get everything. So we're going to jump in, get started. Super excited. The air down tool, you see a lot where, this is actually to help to deflate by using your stem. So I want to go over it. Make sure, even if this is a brand new tool, make sure that all the pieces are functioning correctly before you throw it in your Jeep. That's something we ran into this weekend. This piece, this slides out, needs to be able to slide freely. So if you're noticing this piece does not want to slide freely. All right, ladies, I'm going to pause for a minute and let me know if it looks a little jerky because I want to make sure you get all this information. It's so important. So I can actually walk us through this together. And then I will, again, if you want the full download and information, like you want this whole video, just let me know in the comment and we'll send it to you. So I'm just going to walk you through because I want to make sure we don't miss anything. So if you are not familiar with the air down tool, this is your most common air down tool. As you can see in this video, some people call it a tire deflator. Most of the companies call it an air down tool. There are lots of different companies that actually make this air down tool. They function, there's some differences in functionality, but for the most part, there are a lot of different variations of this same air down tool. So, what the best is air down tool, even if you get one and it's brand new, make sure that you test this before you throw it in your Jeep to head out and to go out trail riding. Because even if it is a brand new tool, make sure everything is sliding, everything is moving, so that none of the parts and pieces are stuck. That is so important. I have seen that happen out on the trail before. You pull out a brand new air down tool, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, it's stuck. And then you have to actually put lubricant and oil on it and move pieces and parts around. So if you order a brand new one and it comes in the mail, make sure to check it before you get out there to use it. I know last week we talked about why you air down your tires, what to air down your tires to, when you air down your tires. So if you missed that goes over specific PSI, it is available right here. It was the last live video we did, or just again, let me know in the comments that you'd like to see last week's, and I will make sure to get that to you as well. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here. All right. So when you go to actually use this tire deflator or air down tool, a couple things to think about. When you go to remove your valve cap off of your tire, put it in your pocket so that you don't set it on the ground or on the tire. That way, if you forget about it, it isn't going to disappear on you. It will be somewhere secure. I am notorious for that. I will stick them in my pocket, and a couple hours later, I'll be like, oh, what's in my pocket? I didn't know there was something in my pocket. And it is my valve caps. So when you go to use this tool, something that I want you to think about is you can see there are threads on your actual valve stem. When you go to line those up, this piece, I hope you can see my pointer, is going to be the piece that you actually put onto your valve stem. Make sure it is straight and that you don't want to cross thread. So make sure it's lined up straight and even. Then when you go to actually put the tool on, it's going to go on straight, and you're not going to do any damage to your actual valve stem itself. This middle part is what you are going to use to actually attach or screw the tool on and off. So if we look at this tool, this front part right in here is what you're going to line up with your actual valve stem. You're going to then use just this center piece to twist the tool on. Once it is twisted, you want to twist till it's all the way on. You don't want to over twist it, but you want to make sure you twist until it won't twist anymore, so it is on and secure. Once you do that, the tool is actually attached. So this is only used to secure and then unsecure. So put the tool on and off. This big, I'm going to call it knob right here is what you're actually going to be sliding back and forth, so forward and back, to let air in and out of your tires. So that's kind of a quick rundown of what, when you look at this tool itself. This centerpiece that screws on and off, only used to take it on and off. This is used to just connect to your valve stem. This big knob right here is what is going to let your air in and out. Then when you go to actually use this tool, the biggest part about using this tool is to go slow. There's no rush. You're not in a hurry. I'm going to try to find a better angle. Okay. So as you can see, you're going to actually just take this tool. You're going to line it up with your valve stem. Then you are going to twist this piece right here in the middle. When you go to put it on, you can see this tool is entirely closed up because I had just used it. So if this plunger is out, just push the plunger back in, go ahead and screw it on using this centerpiece right here. You're not at a risk when you go to apply the tool itself. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Biggest thing is as long as it's lined up with the threads. So once you have it lined up with the threads, then you are going to go ahead and you're just going to twist this center piece with both fingers to go ahead and attach it to your tool. Once it won't twist anymore, then you know it is on there and you don't even have to hold it on anymore. It's now secured. So then what you're going to do is this plunger piece right here. You need to add pressure when you go to unscrew this. This is actually what is grabbing your valve core that's inside that valve stem that is going to let the air out of your tires. So you're going to have to put pressure with your thumb right here at the very end of that plunger knob. And then you're going to twist. So I recommend using two hands, using one hand to put pressure on the end of this plunger with your thumb. Your other hand you'll use to actually twist the plunger. As you are twisting, you're going to feel and hear a click. That is when you know that you have actually grabbed that valve core. Then you can pull that plunger all the way out. Let's see if I can get it. So now that plunger is sticking out. As you can see, this tool is attached. It's not going to fall off. It's not going anywhere. Your plunger is now out. This big knob here in the front is what is going to let the air in and out. So if you push this big knob here forward, it's going to stop the air. When you pull this big knob back towards you, it's going to let the air out of your tires. So push forward to stop, pull back to let the air out. And again, you're going to just do this back and forth to get to the desired PSI that you are looking for to air your tire down to. Another quick little tip, when you're using this tool, you're going to notice that it has an air gauge with it that shows you the air pressure that is currently in your tire. This will only read correctly when that big plunger knob is pushed forward and no air is coming out. When you go and pull back on that and you can hear the air coming out, this is not going to read correctly. You need to push forward on the actual big knob, and then you can read this. If you are letting air out, this is not a correct reading. Something to just kind of remember, keep in the back of your mind. So what you're going to do is you're doing that back and forth, letting air out. So let air out. I usually do a count of 10. So you're just going to grab the big plunger, pull it back towards you. I do it for a 10 count. Then I'll push it forward, check in, see where my tire pressure is. I feel like you're better to do it slower so that you don't let too much air out, because it's easy to just continue to let air out, a little harder to have to put air back in. So as you get close to the desired PSI you're looking for, I do shorter intervals. I'll push it forward, check my air gauge, then I'll pull it back, maybe for a 5 count, check it again, and then I start to go slower amounts of air, so less time with the air coming out, so I can control what it is going to actually air down to. Once you have reached your desired PSI, this is where I don't want to say the nerve-wracking part comes in, because it's really not. One thing I want you to know, worst case scenario, you have an issue getting that valve core back in when you remove the tool. Too much air comes out of the tire, but you can always fix the valve core or put a new valve core in and air the tire back up. You're not going to ruin a tire. You're not going to ruin your wheel. So the biggest fear would be the tire would go flat, but we don't ever trail ride alone. So there would be people there to help us. And it's a very easy, quick fix. And then you just put air back in there. So by airing your tire down using a tool, you don't have a risk of actually ruining a tire or wheel where you have to throw it away. So I want you to keep that in mind as we're going through this. We teach this at our 101 events and inside our 101 Getting Started 101 full program that we have. And, mistakes happen, but they're very easy fixes. So that's something to just keep in mind. You're not going to be in a position where it's detrimental to you and your Jeep. So once you have gotten to that desired PSI pressure, you're going to see plunger is out. You're now like, I've let out as much air as I want to. I don't want to let any more air out. So now what you're going to do is you do everything backwards. So again, pressure right here on this plunger as you push in and twist it is going to be important. Really, out of everything, the most important part and kind of the hardest part is keeping that pressure. So again, you can let go of your air gauge. You don't need that at this point, and use two hands as you go to close your tool back up to remove it. One hand will go, thumb will go right here at the very end to push in with your thumb and keep pressure. You're going to have to keep pressure as you go to close this. Then your other hand can twist, and you just keep twisting until it is completely closed and it won't twist anymore. But the key is having enough pressure right here at this end with your thumb as you are twisting it at the same time. That is your key to making sure that you're able to close this tool correctly. So as you can see, I'm putting my thumb right there at the very end of the tool, and I'm going to use that hand to keep that pressure as I go. So I'm going to push it in. But you can see I have my nails look terrible. I'm sorry, ladies. I had been out there doing way too much with the Jeep. You can see my thumb is right here, and I have quite a bit of pressure with my thumb up against this plunger. You don't have to worry about breaking it. So I just, I put a good amount of pressure so that not enough that this tool is wobbling or moving around, but enough that I'm really pushing this plunger in, and I maintain that while I twist it. So big key right here, thumb at the end of the plunger, holding with that pressure as you are twisting it, because you want to make sure you get that valve core all the way back in your tire. So then you just twist it, twist it, twist it till it won't twist anymore. And you can see I'm kind of taking breaks so you can see the tool. But the other thing is, if you do this correctly, the tool now itself is closed. I'm not holding anything. So when I push in on this plunger and twist it until it won't twist anymore and it's tight, it's now secure. It's not pushing back out. So test these things. Once you get it closed, let go of the tool, breathe for a minute, make sure everything's closed up. Now you're good to go. Again, we're just doing things backwards. So we have closed the plunger. Now we're going to move to the next piece, which is our centerpiece right here that we only use to put this tool on and take this tool off. I recommend as you twist this off, do so slowly. If you start to hear air coming out, just twist it right back on, and you're just going to redo this last piece. You're going to undo the plunger, push it back in, twist it again, make sure it's nice and tight. You had enough pressure, then start to untwist here in the middle again. So the reason you're twisting this off slow when you remove the tool is, again, you're listening for any air. If you hear air starting to escape, just twist the tool back on, redo the step. If you untwist this too fast and pull that air off tool completely off of this valve stem and there's air coming out, then you're going to run into the point where we need to fix that valve core so no air is coming out. So always listen, go slow as you go to remove the tool. It doesn't happen very often, ladies. So if you just kind of take your time, you will be fine. So as you can see, I'm just untwisting that centerpiece. Then I can remove the tool itself once I have unscrewed it all the way. So that's kind of your overview of your air down tool. Again, if you would like the download, I have an instructional download I can share with you, ladies, if you don't already have it, that actually shows you with pictures step by step. It's an instructional guide. Step one with pictures tells you exactly how to use your air down tool. And then you can take that, you can go out and practice. I recommend if you go out to practice, use your spare tire. That way, one, you can practice on your spare tire if something were to happen, a spare tire. Two, you can practice and then you can drive up to air it back up at a gas station if you need to, or pull out your compressor. But I always recommend practicing on your spare tire, not on your actual driving tires. And I do recommend go out and practice this. Get comfortable and familiar with this air down tool before you just get to the point that you're out on the trail and it's time to air down and there's people all around. This is one of those things, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So go ahead and practice at home. So if you would like the download, let me know in the comments and I will send you not only the download, but the link to this full instructional video as well. So now I'm going to jump in and I'm going to touch a little bit on the actual deflator kits. Let's see if I have a good picture of it. Nope. So basically what the deflator kit is instead of having to use your air down tool, you're going to buy, it's a 4-piece kit and it comes with what looks like this little plug. As you can see here, you do have to preset these. Again, I recommend using your spare tire to preset these. You would have to air down one spare tire, like your spare tire, to the actual PSI you want to air down to. So say you want to set them for 17 or 18. You would air your spare tire down to that desired PSI. Then you're going to go ahead and set these plugs. The reason you have to set them one time is then once you have set them once, as you can see in this video, you literally can walk around to all 4 tires, put these deflator plugs on all 4 tires. It will deflate them to what you have set the desired PSI to. I do recommend if you use these plugs that you check with an air gauge to make sure that they are at the correct PSI, just to make sure they haven't been bumped, knocked loose, or they have reset themselves. So they really do just look like a little plug kit. You'll have 4 of them. They normally come with a bag. And again, set them one time, then you can use them over and over and over again, and you don't have to actually air down yourself. Now, I use the air down tool personally. I'm very comfortable with it. I'm pretty quick with it. And I know that I have control. I feel like these deflator kits plugs are not faster for me. So that's why I do the air down tool. And then I also know exactly where I'm at. I don't need to keep going back and double checking. So that is part of, I have this kit. I personally don't use it, but it's a personal preference. It's much easier to use, especially as you are starting out. Oh, yes, this is a great one. So keep extra caps. So your valve stem caps in your tool bag. I will tell you that is something that, again, like I told you, when you pull yours off, put them in your pocket because they are so easy to lose. But I do recommend keeping an extra set of your valve caps in there, and also getting a pack of extra valve cores. That is something we're going to cover in next week's class. We still have one more air down class in the series, and we're going to go over what to do if something does happen and you need to fix your valve core or replace a valve core, what that means, what's happening, and how to do it. It is a very quick, easy fix. Yes, valve cores are a good one. So that is something you can go to any auto parts store, buy a pack of them. I recommend getting the actual tool that comes with them. And again, we'll go over all of that next week for you. I'll show you what the tool looks like. You can actually use your air down tool to replace a valve core if you have to. We will go over that next week together as well. Super excited. How do I stop showing this? Okay, there we go. All righty. So when we're talking about setting these, and again, if you want the downloads in the video, you will also get a step-by-step instructional guide on how to set your plugs. I'll make sure I send that one to you so you have both of them. So you have all the knowledge that you need. All right, so when you go to set these, again, make sure that your spare tire is aired down to the PSI that you want it to. So you can see I'm airing my spare tire down, getting it set where I want it. All right, now, when you see the plug itself, I was hoping I had a clear picture, you're going to notice there's a ring, and then you have the top. So where my hand is what actually is going to screw on to your valve stem. When you go to set these, you're going to go ahead and just screw this ring all the way down. You're going to screw the top all the way down to the ring. You're not going to do it tightly. You're just going to screw this down, screw the top down to the ring so that the entire plug is closed. Reason being, we have to set it to tell it where to stop deflating. So once you have done that, so you have closed the actual plug all the way up, so you've moved that ring all the way down. Good picture. This ring right here, screw it down. The top will screw down to meet the ring. Don't do it tight because we're going to use this to adjust it to the correct PSI. So it'll deflate. These are called deflator plugs. They're air down plugs. Lots of different names for these, but they always come in a set of 4. This is the side you're going to actually screw on to your valve stem. All right, so you're just going to literally take it and screw it on. That easy. You screw it onto your spare tire. It's all closed. Then what we're going to do now that it's secured, again, it's secured on there. It's not going to fall off. You could walk away and it's going to sit on there. It's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about any of that. I will get you the recording for sure. Definitely. Okay. So once you have that screwed on, again, it's secure, not going anywhere. This is closed. Now what you are going to start to do is this very top cap, you're going to slowly start to unscrew it. Just a little bit at a time. You are listening for the minute you start to hear air coming out. So you start to unscrew this. As soon as you start to hear air coming out, that's where you want to stop. If it sounds like a lot of air coming out, screw it back down. Because really what you're trying to do is find where that air is, if that makes sense. So it's closed, no air is coming out. Slowly start to unscrew this top. The minute you hear just a little bit of air coming out, you're going to stop. You can tighten it down tiny bit back. Then you're going to grab this ring on the bottom and you're going to screw that all the way up until it meets where that top is. So that is how you set them. Once you've set that way, when you go to put that on a different tire that's not deflated, you'll hear the air is going to come out really strong at first. Then it's going to start to slow down and get lesser and lesser and lesser, and then it completely stops. You have set it by adjusting this top ring. Then you need to screw the bottom ring up to it so it's tight. I actually recommend once you have set this, unscrew it from your tire, from your Jeep, get a set of pliers and actually tighten that ring with pliers so that it won't bump and it won't come undone. Because what you don't want to happen is if you don't really set this ring up against this top piece, you throw it in a bag and you throw it in your Jeep and it bounces around. That bottom ring can move, which then allows this top to move a little bit, which means it may let too much air out or not enough air out next time you go to use it. So I recommend 2 pliers. One's going to grab the top to hold it. One is going to grab that ring to twist it. So you make sure it is really tight and secured. Once you have done this piece and you've set it, you now can just literally unscrew this plug from your valve stem. You can, so here's me showing you how to twist it. So right here at the very top, you untwist it till you hear air. Then you're going to stop. Then you're going to tighten this ring and bring it all the way up so that those are completely tight together to hold that so that it doesn't readjust on its own. Once you have it set, we're kind of watching it fast forward. Once you have it set, you can literally remove the tool or the kit, the plug, and you're done. You now have it set. You can put it back in your bag. Then when it is time to air down, all you have to do is walk around, set those plugs, put one on each of your 4 tires. Once the air stops, remove it, and then do double check it with an air gauge to make sure that it is at the correct PSI. It's that easy. Once you get those set up, just got my kit and compressors. So this is perfect timing. Yay, I love it. That makes me so happy. All right, so I know this was a super overview of how to air your tires down. And again, I will share with you the downloads so you have the instructional information on how to do this. Go out and practice, get comfortable so that when the time comes, you can do this with ease. Biggest thing, take your time and go slow. So next week, we are going to jump in for our live class together. I'm actually going to be moving our lives to Tuesday at 2 p.m. I'll make an announcement. So our lives will now be Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, just because of travel days for our events. That way I know I can jump on with you. I don't have to worry about travel days. So that will be new for next week. Don't worry. I will send reminder emails. And I also will make sure that I put announcements up. So mark your calendar. Next Tuesday at 2 p.m., we're going to start talking about how to replace a valve core, what to do if you do have any issues while airing down your tires. I'm so glad it was helpful. Yay! Well, thank you for jumping on here with me, ladies. Cannot wait to see you next week for our next part of airing down your tires because it's so important that you are comfortable, confident, and can go out there and air down when the time comes and you need to. So thank you again, ladies. I will make sure I get you all the downloads and a link to the replay so you get the entire training video for you. So have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Can't wait to see you again soon. I will be jumping on live for some announcements, so just keep an eye out on the page. Oh, you are so welcome for sharing. I love doing it. So have a great day, ladies. I will see you again soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.